Hey, welcome. I'm Don Convica here. It's red day here in sunny weather, Pineville Branch. Oh, we're looking at the northeast Beauregard parish there with our tower cam view as we see the nice countryside over in that direction. We're seeing, of course, a gloomy day and all the cams in the area showing kind of the same thing with those low clouds and off and on rain across all the area. Once again today, heavier in some parishes than others certainly. Overall setup remains the same with the moisture coming in from the Gulf of Mexico. We've got a stationary boundary to the south to help focus that flash flood potential along and near that boundary to the north, covering portions of Louisiana, and I think the highest risk is in the southern southeastern part of the state. But we had some locally heavy rain here again for today, some totals in excess of 2 inches in a few parishes that I've seen here for today. And that whole pattern continues all the way to the east of us across portions of Alabama, Florida, Georgia, and even to the Carolinas to some extent. All right, let's check out your radar situation on the large scale. We just kind of see a little bit of a subtle rotation here, maybe centered across the Golden Triangle of Texas. And we'll zoom in and see where kind of a story of have and have nots. The have nots right here in this little hole that we see covering practically all of Avoyelles Parish right now. Now, if there's any rain short there, or if you say, oh, well, it's raining here, but I don't see it on your radar. Well, it could be drizzle the droplets are too small to show up on weather radar systems. Part of Rapides Parish, not getting anything measurable right now in North St. Landry, but you go further to the north where we're seeing areas of LaSalle Parish. We'll put this into motion and into Wynne, Grant, and Natchitoches and Sabine parishes. That's where some of the heavier rain has been for today. And immediately speaking, here's a pretty heavy cell working to the south of Leesville right now, between there and Rose Pine down Highway 171, I think. And going into Sabine Parish, mostly light to moderate rain, but the whole parish, I think, is seeing something right now. Rain falling all in Sabine right now. Little area of heavy rainfall once again coming into South Natchez, headed through the Kisatchie, and then going into Northwest Grant, heading into Montgomery. You folks in Montgomery about to get a brisk rain from this particular cell, and there's some heavy rain back off more toward looks like the Dry Prong Fairfield area. I'm sorry, and then going into Wynne, looks like the whole parish getting rain, mostly light to moderate. However, there is some pretty brisk rain in the areas around Colgrade to the east of the parish line, and then southward toward Pacton to the east of Pacton, and then across North LaSalle. Well, that heavy rain is moving into southeastern Wynne right now. And Catahoula, Concordia, not much happening over in that direction. Northern parts of the parish getting some occasionally light to moderate rain. All right, that's a roundup. Satellite and radar coming back on the larger scale. Here's that front. We see one area of surface low pressure off the east coast, and this one in the Gulf of Mexico. That broad area of surface low pressure that I've been talking about, it is kind of trying to attach to the frontal boundary there across the northern Gulf. We don't see any increase in organization with this or anything like that, but we'll take a closer look at it in just a bit on our tropical satellite. So Futurecast coming up here for the day tomorrow, back to work and school in the morning. I still think rain will be around, at least hit and miss. And then once we go through the day, rain will be widespread. Once again, I think just about everybody's going to get something, whether it's just a little bit or a good one. Will be through. Now, this is valid at 7 o'clock according to this model. There will still be a rain chance, so some of the games will be played, football games. If you have some for tomorrow night, they will be played in wet conditions of wet ground, or it could actually be raining in some locations. And there is a little chance of an occasional rumble of thunder, which would kind of hold the game up, but not looking for any severe storms or big storms or anything like that. Let's kind of take that into account. Rain may have something to say about athletic activities for tomorrow evening. And then going into Saturday morning, well, you're back out doing errands, so doing some shopping, probably be okay. Cooperating with you at that time as dry air begins to win the forecast throughout the day on Saturday, and the only chance I have will be 10% early that morning. looking in the Gulf with that feature, don't see anything that concerns me. We did see a blow up of convection here, but it's moving to the east and it's not as well organized as it was back off further to the west, but we'll continue to monitor that for you. And then going back into the Atlantic, not much organization here. We see a lot going on across the Western Africa, which some of that will be emerging into the Gulf of into the Atlantic by the next couple of days there. So we'll definitely keep our eyes peeled there. But these two systems only have a 10 and 20% chance of development over the next 7 days. That's not too high, but it means, yeah, we'll watch it. And then in the Western Caribbean, we're beginning to see an uptick in the convection, more clouds, more deeper convection. Look at that right in there. Just to the north of Honduras and off the Yucatan. So this is that tropical wave that we've been tracking all the way in the Atlantic, came across the islands, came across and near Hispaniola, and now it's in the Western Caribbean. And so with that feature, NHC has actually dropped the risk to 20%. I think it may pick back up though. Some of the models are explicitly developing something, some surface low in the southwest Gulf of Mexico after this weekend, I would say. And then here's that 10% for the area that we're seeing. And off the East Coast, still looking at a 30% maybe of mainly subtropical development there. So rounding up all the tropics, so what does all this mean for us? Well, I'm still expecting the front to come in a Friday, Saturday time frame, a 90% chance of rain on Friday. So most of you are going to get something, some rumbles of thunder with that. Temperatures will be starting to cool off Saturday morning, 68. Not coming in this front, not coming in quite as strong and clean as I earlier expected. So I did have to put an AM 10% in for Saturday, just in case. Probably, especially maybe across our southern parishes, it could see an isolated sprinkle or a shower or something like that. But for the most part, the forecast is unchanged. Sunday, we're still looking at a cool morning, averaging 61. There will be some upper 50s. And then Sunday is a mostly sunny day. Monday, we see that temperature still about 59 degrees. So some readings could be as chilly as, say, 55, 56. Other readings will stay in the lower 60s that morning. But I did have to put in a 10% in the PM hours on Monday. It'll be warming up with 87 degrees as the next surge of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico begins to arrive. And by Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we've at least got some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms coming back into the forecast as the humidity increases. Be watching the Gulf in case that feature I showed you that's expected to be in the southwestern Gulf during that time frame is able to develop surface low and move toward the north. Even if it doesn't, there will be a moisture increase come into the area, so hence an increase in the rain chances. But you can see how the minimum temperatures, we got 61 and 59 for Sunday, Monday, 72, 70 there for Wednesday, Thursday, 69 for Tuesday. So, yep, the moisture is going to return, folks, but enjoy the weekend and Monday morning. All right, thanks for being with me. Nick Mick will be back with you in the morning. I'll see you again sometime during the PM tomorrow, and we hope you have a fine Friday and a great weekend ahead.